What's going on? It's your boy Adam once again. It's still Easter Sunday, and today was a bust. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta get ready to go on the bike ride tomorrow. Oh my god. I haven't even charged my lights for my. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I haven't even started charging the bicycle lights yet. I'm a complete and total train wreck mentally right now. It's so bad. Moving into this fucking shit show of a slumlord hellhole turned out to be a bad mistake. But I don't know what else I could have done at the time. I literally had a week left to find a place. I still hadn't found a place. The pickings are. There's so many different factors that were against me trying to find a new place. And I just don't want to, I don't even want to list them all out right now. Distance, proximity. It's a double-edged sword. I'll talk about one of them, and it's nobody's fault. This isn't like my best friend and his wife, they live in one of the most rich, affluent areas of Houston. Good. A good school for the kid, everything. I'm limited to transportation by bicycle. Every time I try to get myself a car, something comes in and takes that away. Every time I get enough money saved up where I could go and either try to get a jalopy outright or put a down payment on a shitty high-interest loan shark deal, whichever way, those are the two options in my life right now. For getting a car, it's either buy a jalopy that's going to fall apart under $5,000, or and have to figure out how to do all the paperwork, title transfer, sales tax, and all the bullshit that goes with dealing with the Houston, Texas DMV, all on my own, however long that takes, via bicycle. Or go to a dealership, a Will Finance Anybody dealer, and pay like 22 to 26% interest on a shitty fucking car. Well, hopefully the car will be in better shape and last longer and have a better... Hopefully I can get something newer. I did when I was... The first time I was started to look for a car, I don't think I would buy a car from Carvana, but I was pre-approved to buy a car from Carvana. And I could have got a decent car that wasn't that old, as long as I was willing to get an affordable economy car. And my payments would have been like $250 a month on some of the lower end cars. That's not bad. Because if I could start making good money, I could pay off the loan quicker. And so the hit from the high interest rate would be offset by paying off the loan quicker. I've done this before. That would be my plan. They'll take care of all the paperwork. I'll have plates on the... if I go to a dealership like that, I'd rather go do it in person. But it gave me an idea of what my payments would be. So if I went to one of these Will Finance Anybody dealers and can find an affordable economy car that's not too old, not too many miles on it, not too beat up, something that's known to be reliable, good on gas, cheap on insurance, that would be something to do. But anyway, every time I go to do that, something comes up, sucks all the money out of my bank account, and I'm back to fucking square one. Same thing that's happening right now with this slumlord shit show. So, my limitations are, I'm in the richest area of Houston. I got a job right away when I got here. Really close to my friend's house. Really far from anything affordable in terms of a place to live. There's absolutely nothing anywhere near that place that's anywhere remotely affordable unless you're making $150,000 a year. You won't be able to afford to live anywhere near that place. Because, you want to pay $4,000 a month to rent a tiny little apartment? That's about what it would cost in that area. So I had to move 20 miles away. Every place I looked at was 20 miles away, 30 miles away. And I had to do all this on bicycle. And I had a week left to find a place because I couldn't find shit. I was trying to find a place that would allow me to keep doing what I was doing and live close enough to the bakery that I could still keep that as a viable option, because I need that income after I move. There's literally nothing within a 20-mile radius of that place that you can afford. And if there is, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be literally an RV camper parked in someone's yard that they're renting out pretending it's an apartment. Or it's a complete shithole that's falling apart. I found one of those. And it was 1,000 times worse than the place I'm in right now. I don't even think I would have made it a month there before running away with my, it was big. It was roomy. It was a big, 80-foot double wide, but it was double the dump. It was a double dump. Wow, just bare wires hanging out of the wall in random places, and they had 2 bathrooms. Neither bathroom even had a shower head, just a pipe sticking out of the wall. I mean, it looked like somebody hung a deer in one of the bathrooms and skinned it and dressed a deer in the fucking bathroom and never cleaned up after the fact. It was bad. I really thought, because the landlord didn't have any of the utilities turned on, so I couldn't check the water, I couldn't check the electric. It was in the middle of the daytime. It was too cold that day to get a sense for what how hot or cold the place had. No insulation. It was a shithole. It was an absolute shithole. I would have had to pay all the utilities, water, electric, if those are the only 2. I don't know if there would have been any more. I would have had to pay water, internet, electric, and the place was just falling apart. I was afraid that if they turned the electricity on, it would probably catch on fire. But don't worry about it, because when they turn the water on, all the leaking pipes bursting and flooding all over the place will put out the fire. So it'll cancel each other out. And that was it. I mean, the other places I kept getting, I kept having scam artists trying to get me to fall for rental scams. The internet is completely full of rental scams where they just try to get money out of you and trick you into signing a lease for a place without showing it to you. All kinds of crazy shit like that. One guy set up an appointment for me to come and see the place 2 weeks before my I have to get moved deadline. And I was going to get a ride out there even. And an hour or 2 before I'm supposed to go out there, he sends me a text saying, "Oh, the current tenant isn't going to allow me to come into the unit. So I'm going to have to show it to you from the outside." I'm like, "The fuck you are?" And I sent him a really nasty email back. I'm like, don't even waste my time with this nonsense. I'm not going to show up to get suckered out of money by a scam artist. And he sends me this message back: "I'm not a scam artist. I'm a genuine real estate agent." And he sends me this. And I'm like, I found enough stuff doing my own homework. It seemed like he really was a real estate agent. Sometimes these agents do rental, they handle rental properties for the owners. But I'm like, this thing just had scam written all over it at that point. I'm like, if you don't get a landlord to take you inside the property, keys in hand, tour the property, talk to the actual owner of the property if you're going to sign the lease. If anything like that is shady, don't sign that lease. Don't give your money away. It's a scam. And then I think I saw proof that this was a scam because the ad disappeared. It said it was rented. And then a month later, it showed back up saying it was available. And I had already seen this ad in September when I first moved to Houston, but it showed up as rented. And here it is, January, saying it's available again. And so I thought, at first I thought, well, sometimes they get bad tenants. Maybe somebody moved into it for a month-to-month rental and decided to move out. that happens. It was a small place. It wasn't, it was it was bigger than this tiny house, but it was, that kind of deal seemed legit enough to look into. I set up an appointment to go look at it. I would have done the deal. I would have done it that day, as long as the guy would have let me in and seen the inside of the place. I was ready to pay. I was cash in hand. I would have sealed the deal right there. But as soon as he started playing this fucking game of, well, I can't let you see the inside of it. Done. I'm not playing this fucking game. I'm not going out there wasting my time to meet up with a fucking scam artist who, it could be any, I could just put an ad on Craigslist and say, yeah, meet me in the front yard. We'll check out the house from the outside. Just give me, I'll take cash for the down payment. And, oh yeah, I'll get you the keys. We'll meet next week for the keys. Yeah, I'm out, bitch. Yeah. That's how easy it would be to scam somebody. I could just take 3 or 4 rental ads on Craigslist that have the address listed and pictures of the house, wait until they're rented out or whatever, repost the ad 6 months later with my phone number, get a burner phone, of course, get like 6 people to meet me at the property, do a tour from the outside, and say, don't worry, the inside's just like the pictures, but the tenant won't let me in. They'll be gone at the end of the month. Here, let's sign the lease. I'll take cash or money order. And we'll meet next week and I'll give you the keys. Later. Later. And if I could get 5-6 people to do that for each property and get like $1,200 out of each, I wouldn't have to worry about money for a while, would I? So no, if you're not going to let me in the fucking place to look, we're not doing this. I'm not coming out there to meet you outside and stand in the yard and talk. No, fuck you. We're going inside or there's no deal. And at the end of the month, it disappeared. The ad disappeared. And then a month later, it was back up. And I'm like, boy, that seems a little strange, doesn't it? There was legitimacy. It seemed like the inside pictures matched the outside pictures. And the Google Street View showed the same building at the same address. But, like I said, this could have been an ad that had been posted, a year ago. And somebody's just using it to trick people into giving him money for the down payment to move in. And then disappears with your money and, the police can't even track down the guy you gave it to. So, no, watch your fucking back. So, anyway, I found this place. I had a week left to find a place. I found this place. I saw it. I'm like, yep, sure, it'll do. All utilities included, 6 months. Fine. It gives me 6 months to figure things out and find something better and get money put away. Possibly get a car. Everything. Like, that was my plan. In fact, if I could get a car, but it was going to drain my bank account and tighten up my finances, fine, I'll stay for 6 more months. And then all hell broke loose on April 3rd. And so, but this was the best place out of everything I could find. And, this day and age, you don't have to go and look in person until you're ready to rock, until you're ready to buy. You can learn pretty much everything you need to know just from looking at the ad, looking at the pictures, talking to the property owner. If you get a bad vibe from the property owner, it's not worth going to look at the property. So I don't waste my time unless I think this is going to work. Same with buying a car. I do a lot of shopping online when I buy a car. I rarely go to a dealership unless I'm like, this is the one and I'm ready to buy right now. I'm not going to go kick the tires at a dealership. If I show up in person at the dealership, I've already made the decision to buy. I'm going to the dealership to look for a reason not to go through with the deal. And I might not tell the dealer I'm ready to buy. Like, I might tell the dealer, well, I just want to come take a look at it, see if it's, blah, blah, blah. But I've already, in my mind, I've already been like, this is a good deal. This is the right car. This is the right price, or, we'll haggle down. But I've made up my mind that I'm ready to pay as long as it checks off all the boxes and nothing raises a red flag. You can shop. It's like going to Amazon. You can do all the research, read the reviews, do all the things, compare three of products from three different brands, you know, figure out which one you want, hit buy, and it's over. You don't have to go to the store and see it in person. It's how I bought my water filter system that sits over there. I wanted a replacement for my Berkey that I no longer have, that got lost in the FBI raid. I did a lot of homework, a lot of research. I settled on this one, and it's been good so far, by the way. Cheap. It was much, much less than a Berkey. And if someday in the future, if I want to get the Berkey black filters, I can buy them, and they'll fit right in. It's the same size holes in the bottom of the top canister. And in fact, I like this unit better than the Berkey unit that I had. So if I want to get the Berkey filters, it'll be better than my old Berkey was at some point in the future. That's fine. You can buy a car, you can look at an apartment the same way. With an apartment or a car, you definitely want to go in person. You don't make a deal over the phone. You don't make a deal over the internet, ever. You go in person. But I'm not going in person unless I'm ready, unless I've made up my mind this would be a good option. On the day that I came to look at this tiny place here, there was another guy who had an RV, a camper, in a 1 acre plot, probably attached to his own property, but from the pictures and from the satellite photo from Google Earth, it looked like it had quite a bit of tranquility and peace and quiet surrounding it. And it was a decent sized camper. It had a porch attached to it. And so I was going to go look at that. It was about 15 miles or so from the bakery, so within good range of biking. There were some issues in terms of how could I fit my stuff in there, because the camper is a little bit different than a big open tiny house room. I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, my stuff will fit here, no problem. So, but I was gonna go look at that, and it was a good price per month, all utilities included once again. I worked out a thing with the guy to go look at it, and then I canceled so I could come look at this place. But I was basically down to where I got to do something this weekend. I can't wait any longer. And so I got picked this place. I was like, we're good to go. Wasn't really what I wanted, but I mean, I sat there for months trying to find a place and couldn't find shit. Got into lots of arguments with rude-ass landlords just because I wanted to come look at a property. If you're going to be rude to your if you talk to a landlord on an internet listing and they're rude to you before you even come and look at the property, think about that. How are they going to treat you after you move in? If they're already a rude piece of shit to you before you even come and look at the thing, copping you a fucking attitude before you even come and look at it, guess what's going to happen the first time you need something fixed? Guess who's going to cop you a much bigger attitude? Anything. You're going to be dealing, you already know it's a problem landlord. So I dealt with a lot of those. Anybody gets rude to me like that when I'm asking to come look at a property for rent, if you're going to be rude to me, fuck you. I'm not coming over there. I'm not wasting my time with that shit. I've had that happened a lot when I was looking for a place. And so I'll just be like, no, I'll just ghost. I'll just not return the next. If you're rude to me, we're texting back and forth, or we have a phone call and you sound like a rude asshole. Like you're just going to assume that I'm a piece of shit and you're going to treat me as such. Well then, and this is before we were talking about background checks or income or anything. If you're just rude to me when I'm just asking questions about the property, then no, this isn't going to work for sure. So Even though Houston is the fourth biggest city in the United States, it's not that easy to find a place to live. Certainly easier than Jamestown, New York. I'm not going to, you know, it's easier than Jamestown, New York by leaps and bounds, but it's still a process. And the process is a lot harder because the websites that list real estate are all garbage right now. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, they're all garbage, and they're all garbage for different reasons. Craigslist is full of scams. Craigslist is hard to filter out what you're looking for from what you're not looking for. Positives on Craigslist is you can generally exclude ads for like room for rent, and you can just get apartments and houses for rent. But people will scam their way around those filters. But the biggest thing on Craigslist is, number one, there's a lot of scams, and number two, you'll have like here in Houston. Every time I go to Craigslist and look, I will see 25 to 30 ads a day from the same 3 apartment complexes. These big property management companies posting the same ads over and over and over and over again for some shitty apartment in an apartment complex, where they only show you pictures of the lobby, but they don't show you pictures of the actual apartment. Because a lot of these apartment complexes, they'll be like, look at the beautiful lobby of our building. Because the apartments are fucking trash, and they don't want you to see that. They want you to see the fancy lobby. And then they're going to be overpriced. And then, when you go look at the unit, it's like, this is fucking dive. It's just like when you walk into a fancy hotel and the lobby's beautiful, but then you take the elevator, you go up to your room, the room's a fucking slum. It's a fucking dump. A lot of nice hotels have really shitty rooms. In fact, the nicer the lobby is at a hotel, the shittier. Like, I've stayed in lots of hotels, and the shittiest hotels were always the most expensive. Beautiful, like, wow, look at this beautiful lobby. You get up to the room, this room fucking sucks. It's fucking trash. And then you go to like an Econo Lodge out in the middle of nowhere, and it just has a basic lobby, and you get to your room, and it's this big giant suite with freaking jacuzzi in the middle of the room, and like, like you could be like Tony Montana just hanging out in a hot tub going, fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. While you do your fucking, while you do your drug deals and shit, watching TV from your hot tub. Let's see. And so anyway, it's hard to filter that shit out on the Craigslist site. It's just you'll get a page of search results, and 90 out of 100 ads will be for the same 3 apartment complexes, and you just got to scroll and scroll and scroll before you. So Craigslist sucks. Facebook Marketplace sucks because if you search for apartments and you try to use the map view, nothing shows up. The only ads that show up on the map are room for rent in a house, room for rent in a house, bedroom for rent in a house. There's no apartments. There's no houses. They don't even you click on one after the next, after the next, after the next on the map, and then none of them are a fucking apartment and none of them are a house. They're all a room for rent in a house. And there's no filter to exclude those ads and separate them from the apartments. But then you come back to Facebook Marketplace, because now the algorithm knows you're looking for a place to rent, and all these random places to rent will show up. Random though, like no regard as to location or distance from you, but the algorithm knows, and all these apartments and all these houses will pop up for rent when you click the Facebook Marketplace button and go to Marketplace on the default page. You'll see all these rental listings that never show up on the map, even though the addresses will be in the ad. And even with the map could just show you the general vicinity, like the neighborhood. Even if the landlord doesn't list the specific address, they could still show up on the map. They don't. None of them do. It doesn't make any fucking sense. That's how I found 2 of the places that I went to look at, or the scam, and the other one that I did go and look at. That's how they showed up. They just showed up on the Facebook Marketplace homepage. But when I would go to the map view and zoom into that area of the map, they wouldn't show up at all. They won't show up on that map view at all, even though the address of both was in the ad. And I'm like, why the fuck is this thing so fucking broken? Well, everything on Facebook's a total fucking disaster. They completely destroyed that app in every way imaginable. Everything Mark Zuckerberg got his hands on now, he is completely fucking destroyed. They're completely unusable. From a user experience standpoint, Facebook, Instagram, whatever else that fucking dickbag owns, he completely destroyed all that shit. And Facebook at the time when it was built was the best user experience on social media. And now it's literally the worst. It's the absolute worst fucking shit. How many of you are on Facebook and like, how do you even navigate to the settings? And like, there's so many damn settings and so many things scattered all over the place. You can't figure out how to do a fucking thing on that platform anymore. And everybody's abandoning it. It's turned into MySpace. Everybody's gone. The only people left on Facebook are bots. I can't find anybody I actually know on there anymore. And I don't really give a fuck. I don't really want to be. I'm on it because I'm using it for Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking for, I'm using it. I've used it to go look for places to rent. I found this place on Craigslist. Primarily I was finding places on Marketplace. And then Zillow. You got Zillow. Every single fucking listing on Zillow is a real estate agent managing a property for a landlord, and they instantly want you to pay an application fee, do a background check, have proof of income, bank statements, and all this other bullshit just to schedule a viewing for a property. No, I'm not going to pay you $50 for the chance to win an opportunity to go look at a fucking dump. How about we schedule a viewing of your fucking dump, and if I want to move into it, then we'll talk about all this other shit. But I'm not going to pay you a fucking fee. I'm not going to go through all this fucking hassle just so that you can give me permission to come look at your shithole. I'm not going to do it. Who the fuck do you people think you are? But I cannot find an ad on Zillow, because Zillow, the app works good. You type in your price range, you look at the map, everything shows up on the map, and it's the price range you're looking for. And you click on every single ad. Must pass background check, must show proof of income, real estate agent. You're dealing with a real estate agent. You're not dealing with a property owner. And it's all the same shit. So there's nothing on, there's all these apps, and none of them, and see, the thing is, there's a lot of properties for rent in a city this big. From private people who just want to rent their property and find a good time. There's no apps out there that'll connect the two people. One, the person looking for the property to rent, and two, the property owner that's trying to rent the property. It's like all these fucking apps are completely broken and none of them work. They're duct tape and coat hangered together. And it used to be better. 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to find places online than it is now. The apps keep getting worse and worse and worse over time. There's certain categories of computer apps that just continue to get worse as time goes on. You'd think they'd get better because computers are getting better, technology's getting better. But these categories of apps keep going downhill. Banking apps, financial management, accounting software, that kind of shit has gone on a rocket ship downhill. Quicken used to be a good app. Microsoft Money, good accounting apps back in the day. Now it's just fucking trash. You cannot find good accounting software. It's to the point I made my own. I built my own accounting software using a Notion database and an interface around it. And it works better than just about any modern accounting software that you can pay for. My homegrown shit works better. It's not perfect, but the funny thing is that because I built it myself, all the things I don't like about it, I can improve and fix to some extent. It's never going to be perfect, but it's better than anything out there. I've been using it since April of last year when I came home from prison. I built it in about a day. It was based on a tutorial video on YouTube, and then I turned it into my own thing. I made my own changes and my own improvements, and it's just as good as I would rather use my own than Quicken. QuickBooks would be good if I was exclusively looking for something for business, but honestly, QuickBooks sucks. And I worked for a bank, and I had to interview accountants at tons of different companies because I was working on a business banking web application. As a user experience designer, I interviewed 25 different clients, and typically I would be interviewing the accountant at each company of 25 different banking clients. Every single one of them told me they hate QuickBooks with a passion. Accountants. All 25. Everything from restaurants to architecture firms to manufacturing companies to cleaning services, and that's 4 out of 25 different clients where I would go in and do like a 4-hour long interview and study session to figure out like how to build this banking software to work for them and discover what their needs are and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, a big thing was every single one of them hate QuickBooks with passion. And that's the biggest one out there in terms of, like, all accountants, they all said the same thing. They're sick and tired of these garbage applications that try to automate everything when you can't do proper accounting without entering data manually. And all these apps are trying to remove that. But poor people are easy to control, and people who are disorganized with their finances tend to be poor. And like I said, people who are disorganized with their finances and poor people are easy to rule over. So they don't want you to be able to take control over your shit. They don't want you to have that ability. So they're taking it away from you by giving you garbage software when 20 years ago the software worked good. Music software, iTunes, Winamp used to be really awesome tools for managing your music library. It was very powerful. Then they completely redid these apps, took away all the functionality and turned it into a music store where you can basically arrange a bunch of playlists and pay a monthly fee, and you don't actually own any music anymore, and you don't keep it on your hard drive anymore. And like they've completely dumbed down and ruined all the music software. So music software, accounting software, looking for real estate, all of these apps have gotten tremendously worse over the years. And it's like, how are they getting worse when technology keeps improving by leaps and bounds, and the speed of computers and the efficiency and the user interfaces that we can build and everything else, and yet the software is 100 times worse than it was 10 years ago? I don't understand. Well, I do understand because I believe it's all on purpose. I truly believe most of that is on purpose. They want you to be they want your life to be complete chaos. They don't want you to be able to manage your own shit anymore. And especially with accounting software, they don't want you to have a tool where you can just manually track your accounting and your transactions and stuff like that, because they don't want you to be organized. They want you to be a train wreck so they can take advantage of you, charge you higher interest, and screw you and keep you from actually paying attention to your bank account. Because people who don't pay attention to shit, they can charge you a bunch of bullshit fees, and they can fuck with you and charge you higher interest for missing your bill payments. They want you to miss all your bill payments. They want you to pay your credit cards late. They want to have you give them any reason they can to raise your interest rates, to raise your insurance prices, whatever they can do to squeeze more out of you by scamming you, they're going to do. And the more you pay attention to your finances, the harder it is for them to do that to you. So it's all on purpose. I worked in software companies. There's no excuse for the shit they're doing other than it's on purpose. They're dumbing it down on purpose. They're taking away features on purpose. Multiple reasons, not just to screw you, but because they want to save money. They're like, fuck it, let's give them the bare minimum piece of shit that they'll still pay us for. And if we keep dumbing it down and dumbing it down and dumbing it down and they still pay us, why should we keep putting the features back in? So I don't know, man. I don't know how I get off on these tangents. I don't even. So, yeah, back to why I'm in this tiny house. I looked at lots of different places. This was the best one. That was how much time I had left. So, but now, like I said, this thing is completely unmanageable. It's not workable anymore. But that's just, I'm just sharing with you the challenges of why it's hard in the first place to find a place. I think it's hard to find a place to buy. I was looking for land back before I got arrested, and that was a struggle and a half just to find. Nobody wants to, they don't want you. It's extremely difficult to find good properties of land out in the middle of nowhere with no zoning restrictions where you could like build your off-grid property and have a place that's, you know, your off-grid retreat. Why? Because they don't want you to have that. They don't want people doing that. They want you to be on the grid. They want to herd you into the compact city. They want to build a big giant communist apartment block tower out of concrete with tiny little windows, with apartments the size of this tiny house or smaller, charge you a fucking fortune to live there, take away your car so that you can't drive anywhere, and force you to live in a compact little city like that movie Metropolis, where you just go to some shitty job and come home every day and you don't actually go out to the woods. It's like the Hunger Games. If the rich people could just fence off the wilderness and make it so only they can go out there and enjoy it, they would do that shit tomorrow if they knew there wouldn't be a backlash. They'd ban all of us peasants from being able to go on a hike in the fucking woods because now it's theirs. It's not ours anymore. This is what we're fighting against. All these people that owners of America want to take it away from us. But I guess I just went off on a tangent again because my focus is, I'm just sharing with you the problems and the challenges that you face when you're looking for an apartment. And it's hard. It's hard to... The tools. It just blows my mind that Facebook Marketplace can't put the apartments that are available on a fucking map. That is not hard to do. I can whip up a Google Map API function that will plot a bunch of points on a fucking map based on either addresses or geographical coordinates, latitude and longitude. Those are the two ways. They both work. JavaScript. You feed Google Maps API a bunch of coordinates or addresses, and it puts the dots on the map. It's that fucking simple. I'm pretty sure Facebook Marketplace is using Google Maps for their map engine. So, what is wrong with this system that has hundreds of apartments, if not thousands of apartments and houses available, yet when you look at the map view and you say, show me everything in this nothing shows up. Nothing. I'm telling you, the only fucking ads that show up are room for rent, room for rent, room for rent, room for rent, room for rent. And there's no fucking apartments. There's no houses. And this happens over and over and over again. And so, okay, fine. And I'm not the only one who complains about this. I do a Google search. How to filter room for rent on Facebook Marketplace. And you end up with all these Reddit forums, and you end up with all these internet posts where people are posting the same question, and they're just as frustrated as me. Going, how come when I go to Facebook and look at the map, the only thing I ever find is room for rent? How do I filter this out? So why can't Facebook just have a filter for when the landlord fills out the ad, they have to check a box. This is a room for rent. Type of rental, house, apartment, room for rent, tiny house. It could be like they could just come up with a 5 or 6 options. You check the one that's appropriate for your ad. It makes everybody's life better, because somebody's looking for a room for rent and they don't want to see houses and apartments. They want to see room for rent. Bedroom for rent. I only need a place for a month while I'm going to be in Houston. I want to just rent a bedroom somewhere and not have to deal with, I want a furnished bedroom with a bed and a nightstand and a bathroom. I just need a place for a month or two. There's people who are specifically looking for that. They're going to have no problem finding it, because that's all they show you on Facebook Marketplace. People have apartments for rent. Nobody can find them because Facebook won't show them to you. It can be an advantage if you're looking for a place to rent, the fact that Facebook won't show that. If they showed it to me, the chances of other people finding it are slim, because it's not showing up on the map, even though the address is in the fucking ad. So it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would Facebook just not have a category to when the landlord posts the ad? Is it a house? Is it a condo? Is it an apartment? Is it a tiny house? Is it a RV or a trailer? Is it a bedroom in a house? And then when you go to search the map, there should be the same checkboxes. Show me houses, apartments. Everything else, don't show me. Done. It's not that fucking hard. This is like basic level shit. This is like if this should have been baked into the app from day one. Like, this is it's a level of incompetence that is so far beyond my wildest fucking it blows my mind that this doesn't have. Craigslist has those filters. You can filter on Craigslist. Show me apartments and houses, and there's a button, room for rent, and you can leave that unchecked, and it will generally not show you. If a room for rent shows up, it's because the landlord said it was an apartment and they were lying. But people on Craigslist don't like liars, and those ads get flagged a lot. Somebody will see that and go, fuck this, flag. And you get like 10 people flagging an ad, it disappears. And then the landlord's going to learn, don't fuck around, or you'll find out. People will flag it. If you don't list it properly, they're going to get pissed. But at least the user on Craigslist has the ability to flag an ad. And you can flag it for any reason. You can just be like, fuck you, I hate you, flag it. But it's not going to disappear unless enough people flag it. So there's like, that keeps, you can't just get a landlord's ad deleted by yourself. You have to get a group of people to flag it. But they do all the time. People, like, ads like that will get taken down pretty quick if they're categorized wrong, and people get mad about that. Like, why is this fucking room for rent showing up in the apartments category? Fuck. Flag. You get 10 people that say the same thing, it's over. Landlord lost their ad. Got to post it again. Categorize it properly. It's a good system. The only problem is when you include apartments in that search, all of a sudden the search, you've got 20 pages of search results. There's probably 10 apartments listed, and if each page holds 20 listings before you have to paginate through it, you've got 19 pages of ads from the same 4 shitty apartment complexes that post their ad 4 times a day. And then you've got like 10 actual apartments and houses that private people are trying to rent mixed in with all that garbage. And you can't filter out the garbage listings from the apartment complexes. And like I said, the apartment complex posts an ad, come live at our beautiful apartment complex. It'll have a picture of the building outside. It'll have a picture, maybe they have a swimming pool outside. And then they'll have pictures of the lobby, and maybe there's a gym. Some of these places will have a gym, an exercise room. They'll put a picture of that. And that's it. There won't be one fucking picture of an apartment. There won't be one fucking picture of a kitchen. There won't be one picture of any of the apartments at all. Why? Because when you go there and you look at the apartment, it's going to be a complete fucking piece of shit apartment. and they don't want you to see it until you, and that they figure if they can drag your ass down there to look at it, or you get people from out of town who are just looking for an apartment for a certain amount of time, and they're not like a property management company like that. They deal with that all the time. Somebody's coming for 6 months on a business trip or some fucking reason, and they'll sign a lease and sight unseen for an apartment because the apartment complex had a bunch of nice pictures of the swimming pool and the lobby and the exercise room. And then you actually get there and you find out, oh, all the machines in the exercise room are broken. None of them work. The gym might not even be open anymore. The pool has brown water. Or the pool's not even open anymore. There's no water in the pool anymore. They took that picture 5 years ago. The apartment's a total fucking shit show. The oven doesn't work. The fridge barely keeps your food cold. The freezer doesn't keep your food frozen. You know, just a bunch of crap. But I just want to filter those out. You really can't filter those out on Craigslist. But if you have patience, you can go through the ads and you can bookmark ones that seem legit. And then Craigslist also has a map with a distance filter. You can set a zip code and say a certain distance from this zip code, but that's kind of spotty or hit or miss. Facebook, the map works great, but the results aren't there. Like I said, every result is a fucking room for rent. There's no apartments, no houses, nothing but room for rent. But then when you come back to Facebook Marketplace after you've searched for a place and can't find one, it'll just start randomly putting apartments and houses on the homepage of Facebook Marketplace that you will never be able to find on the map. And I've tested this. I'll click on an ad that shows up. I'll find the address. And then I will go to the map view and I'll set the filters so that my price range is in the right price range. And I'll zoom right into that fucking spot on the map and there won't be anything showing up on the map. Even though there's an ad that's active for an apartment or a house at that exact address. And it won't show up on the map view at all. But you'll zoom out and you'll see a bunch of ads and you click on them. Room for rent, room for rent, room for rent, room for rent. It's a completely broken experience and they don't give a fuck about it. Facebook's never going to fix it. If you ever find a bug in software these days, you can rest assured it's never going to be fixed. Ever. So you either have to live with the bug and try to find a way to work around. Fuck. You can see why I hate this fucking place. That noise you just heard, this is 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is what I'm fucking listening to. With no hot water, I can't take fucking showers. I can't look out the fucking window. I don't even know whether it's light or dark outside anymore. Because I don't even want to pull the curtain back. I don't want to even see what's outside this fucking window. But I am going to have to get going, and I am going to have to go out on the porch and pull some lights off my bike, and fuck, man, I got oh, man. Anyway, this is what it's going to be like on these videos. If you can bear with me, this is what I got. I got time to sit around and bitch. I got time to sit around and bitch and complain about some stuff. That's pretty much it. Until the next thing. Like I said, something interesting. It's Easter. I'm fucking miserable. I hate the fucking holidays. I just want to crawl. I just want to curl up and die every holiday because there's nothing in it for me. Just misery and being alone and never seeing my fucking kids. Never, no friends, no family, nothing. It's just me by myself, a worthless piece of shit criminal who nobody wants anything to do with ever again. Trying to figure out how to put my fucking life back together, and everything's closed, and I don't have any money anyway, even if things were open, so don't have a car. The holidays are the worst days. And I just want to fucking get through it. I want to wake up. I'm going to have to go into the bakery tomorrow. How was Easter? How was your Easter? How's everything to do? It's like, yeah, not everybody's life is fucking sunshine and rainbows. surrounded by white picket fences and laughter. Not everybody gets to live the good life. So I hope that doesn't come up tomorrow. And I can just get through the fucking day without being asked a bunch of questions I don't want to answer about, like, am I going to really answer, oh no, my holidays suck. I'm just going to be like, yeah, it was all right. I'll just say some, yup, it was good, yep. Like, it's about as good, that's about what I'm going to say if I get asked. Like, what else would I say? Am I going to get into the details of why every holiday fucking sucks for the rest of my life? No, I'm just going to brush it off and change the subject because I don't want to talk about it, especially at a job. But yeah, that's what I got time. That's what I got time for. I needed a break from. I was doing some stuff. It's getting late. I gotta fucking hook up all these bicycle lights so I can get up. I've got less than 12 hours. I got 9 hours before I gotta pack up my bike and go on another 40-mile bike ride, 8 hours of back-breaking work, so I can wake up Tuesday feeling miserable and tired, and then try to go through a 4-day stretch of getting stuff done. There's definitely, like I said this morning, there's some interesting stuff. Something interesting happened today that could turn into something cool, a cool opportunity. But I give it like a 50-50 chance at this point that it will turn into something good. I will talk about it one of these days down the road in detail. My gut feeling tells me I really want this opportunity to work. But my gut feeling also says be prepared for it to not work. And there's another opportunity I'm looking at that will work. Wouldn't be bad. But there's something about that isn't right either. And so, I don't know. And then there's other opportunities that gave me a bad vibe. We'll talk later. Peace. I got one more segment today. I got a comment. I wish I could find it again because so some of you might see it or know where it is. I don't even know. It disappeared. Well, it didn't disappear, but there's a section in YouTube Studio where comments that are really offensive get filtered, and I set the setting to just let them go. But they're still holding comments back. And there were like 4 or 5. One didn't make any sense. There was another one. I don't know. I let it go. I just hit approve. I don't care anymore. But some dude, holy shit, threw a fucking fit. Told me to go fuck myself, go fuck your channel, you fucking piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Because of what I said about all the people that tell me to go drive a truck for a living. I don't remember telling people to go fuck them. Maybe I did. I mean, I don't know. I probably did say go fuck yourselves. But I don't know. He was mad as fuck. Obviously, he's unsubscribed and he's not going to watch this video. So, this guy flew off the fucking handle. Because I pointed out that you can't just walk down the fucking street and go be a fucking truck driver. How the fuck... Why are somebody get so fucking offended? I don't have a CDL. I don't have a commercial driver's license, number one. So there's a whole fucking process to get your hands on one of those. You gotta pay money. You gotta go to truck driver school or whatever the fuck you do to get your CDL. Okay, number one, you get your CDL. Number two, an 18-wheeler, a truck, without the fucking trailer. You're looking at what, $125,000 minimum for a new one of those, right? Or I don't know what you could even get one for on the used market, but you're in for, you could go buy a fucking house for what it costs to buy an 18-wheeler. Fresh with my CDL driver's license. Number 3, okay, I get my fucking CDL and what do? Just walk down to the truck driving company and say, hand me the keys, I want to be a truck driver now. Most of these companies are going to do a background check, just like any other company. And what good is it going to be for me to go get a CDL driver's license and go through whatever I have to go through to get one of those, just to walk to the truck driving company and have them say, oh, we can't hire you because you're a criminal to drive their trucks, because I'm not going to be able to buy a truck on my own. And number 3, I don't know how many fucking times I got to say this on the fucking channel, but I say this over and over and over again. I'm on federal probation for 3 fucking years, one of which I've already finished. I've got 2 more years of federal probation left. That means I can't just hop in a fucking big rig and drive a load of shit across the country or across the state. I gotta stay in the place where I am within a certain distance of where I am. And if I want to leave that space, I got to get permission from a probation officer every time I leave it. So once again, all these fucking ding-dongs that tell me to go down and just sign up to be a truck driver. It's that simple. No, it's not that fucking simple, for crying out loud. I've had people jump on the channel and tell these people off who keep it's like all these people must be truck drivers on their own. And so they think that I'm shitting on the truck driving industry and talking shit about truck drivers like I don't respect their profession or anything like that. You know, like, oh, I look down on you people because I'm just some nerd programmer who sits in a fucking chair all day. Well, you're a driver who sits in a fucking chair all day. I don't have any problem with truck drivers. You can make damn good money driving a truck. I had a friend in high school whose dad was a truck driver, made all kinds of money, had his own trucks. I shared a jail cell with a truck driver who owned a fleet of trucks. And this dude was loaded, made all kinds of money. He could buy a $200,000 truck like it was nothing. Like, just fucking, here's a briefcase full of cash. I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna get into the fucking details or all that shit. But like, because I'm saying it's not that easy to you don't just walk out the fucking door and be a truck driver. Motherfuckers keep, like, I don't even know where to sign up to do that. It's like, okay, maybe I'll ask Grok what it takes to be a truck driver. How long would I have to, how long does it take to get your CDL? How do you get your CDL if you don't have a fucking truck to take the test in? Right? Like, how do you do that? So I go to truck driving school. I got to pay for that. Go through truck driving school. Get out of that. Get my CDL. Then I got to find a company who will hire a felon. Are they going to hire, if I can't get a job at fucking Walmart, if I can't get a job at Target, but some truck driving company is going to hand me the keys to a $250,000 truck and say, here you go, drive this. Like, it's that fucking easy. Fuck, man. It's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about it. If you don't like what I say, get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. For the first time, I was looking at YouTube Studio. The first time since September, when I stopped being homeless, all of a sudden I've got 3 more subscribers than I had back then. 3! It took October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 2 more fingers. That's 7 months to get 3 new subscribers to the channel. Because the number goes up and down, but it kind of just stagnated and stopped growing. it stopped growing when I wasn't homeless anymore, and everybody's like, "Well, I'm not watching the." But now that I'm a train wreck again, people are like, "Oh, hey, his life's falling apart again. Let's go and watch. Let's go subscribe. Look, he's about his whole experience, this tiny house shit, all of it. He's his life is a train wreck again. Let's go watch. It's fun to watch." Um, So I don't know. Maybe that's why I got 3 new subscribers. But there's definitely new people showing up on the channel, and people come, people go. But oh yeah, like this is the first time someone got offended because a guy decided to say what's on his mind. Like, and as if I I don't give a fuck. If you don't like it, go. I don't give a fuck. Like, ooh, I'm scared. Your threats of I'm gonna leave this channel. Okay, bye. Go. Like, seriously. I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm not. Like, if you expect that I'm just going to kowtow and kiss everybody's ass because somebody got offended, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know I don't have any fucks to give. I went to prison for mean tweets. My whole life was ruined as a result of that. And so at this point, my reputation's gone, my career's gone, everything I ever owned is gone, all my friends, family, everybody who ever gave a shit about me turned their back on me except for like 1 or 2 people. That's gone. At this point, what the fuck does it matter? I have nothing left. So I got no reason, like, I can't ruin my reputation by saying what's on my mind. Oh, you gotta watch what you say. People are gonna do a Google search on my name and find 500 pages of fucking results about my fucking night with the FBI. So anything I say on a fucking YouTube channel isn't gonna matter at this point. People have already made up their fucking mind. So no, I'm not shitting on the truck driving industry. If I thought it was something feasible for me to try and do, I would do it. But it's not like, if you think you can just walk out the fucking door and be a truck driver tomorrow, it's not like that. It's just like if a truck driver wanted to be a fucking web designer. You're not just going to walk out, you're not going to just get out of the truck and all of a sudden sit down in front of a computer and start build websites for people. You know, like there's skills and time and training that just to be a beginner, and I'm 49 years old. I've been doing what I do for over 30 fucking years. Just like you are a truck driver for the last 30 fucking years. So you've got experience, you've got wisdom, knowledge, and all that stuff that goes with it. And you're going to get mad at me because I'm being practical and said, you know what? I don't think that that's a good option for me. Why? Because I can't afford to go to fucking truck school. I can't afford to buy an 18-wheeler. I'm pretty sure that I could put all that time and money into getting my CDL, walk into 20 different trucking companies, and be told to go pound sand because I can't even get a fucking job at Target or Walmart or Burger King or any of these fucking places. Why the fuck is a truck driving company going to hand me the keys to a $150,000 truck and say, go for a ride? Fuck, man, I'm so sick and tired. Sometimes the fucking trolls piss me off. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. I'm not losing sleep over it tonight. I'm going to get to bed whenever I feel like going to bed. I'm going to get up at 5:30 in the morning and get ready and go on my bicycle ride to work. And then I'm going to come home. I'm going to chill. I'm going to wake up the next day. I'm going to do some personal shit, get laundry, those kinds of things. And I'm going to bust my ass for 4 days building my clients' websites. Trying to get caught up on shit. And I've got 10 other fucking stressful things going on. Trying to put a fucking life back together. But no, I'm a piece of shit. Because I want to continue doing the work that I've been doing for the last 30 fucking years. But I guess I don't deserve to have a fucking career or a livelihood anymore. Because I'm a piece of shit who went to prison for saying mean things on Twitter. I mean, what if that happened to you? They won't let you drive a fucking truck anymore because you made a mistake. And you got to find a different career. Because nobody in the world will give you the keys to a truck and let you put it on the fucking road anymore. All because of because you said some shit on Twitter. But that makes me a piece of shit for wanting to use the skills and experience and the wisdom that I've gained over 30 fucking years of doing what I do my whole entire fucking life. And I'm a piece of shit because I won't go to fucking CDL truck driving school for the small chance in hell of getting the keys to a fucking big rig and going on a fucking drive to drop off someone's shit because it's that fucking easy to just walk out the door and be a fucking trucker tomorrow. Fuck off, asshole. Seriously, fuck you. I don't care. Don't come back to the fucking channel and go fuck yourself. There, now I said it.